All right,
So
we're
what
live.
you're saying is we should have coasters. Coast to coast coasters.
Coast to coast coasters would be a great investment for me.
Yeah.
Thanks for that idea, John.
You're welcome.
Hey! Paisanos, it's the... Excuse me, princess. Super Show!
Well, welcome back to the Excuse Me, Princess Super Show. I'm Aaron,
I'm John.
and we continue our journey of going through the Super Mario Brothers Super Show and Legend of Zelda in air date order, the way that God intended.
Yeah, it's somewhere near the back of the Bible. Those pages nobody reads.
The appendix?
Yeah. I thought they took that out.
Only out of you.
That's not my joke. I stole that from Hawkeye.
Oh.
The episodes we're looking at today. But first of all,
If you want to watch this, you can do so legally on the Wild Brains Superhero YouTube channel, Amazon Prime, buy the DVD, or go back in time and watch it on Deke Entertainment.
watch it on Deke Entertainment,
Yes.
the fourth TV channel, CBC, ABC, NBC, and DIC. Now that's peak entertainment from Deke Entertainment. This guy's particularly upset.
We'll be saying that a lot today.
We'll try not to. The episodes we're looking at today are the live-action segment Super Plant and the cartoon The Pied Koopa. Originally aired October 5th, 1989.
Hey, John, do you remember our predictions at all?
No, because we recorded the last episode a long time ago and I forgot to check because you're editing it
Yes.
right now.
Well, I finished editing it,
Good job.
so...
At to pull the curtain back a bit, at time of recording, episode 23 goes up in 2 days.
Yes.
This is Friday, and it goes up on Monday.
But, where was I?
Predictions.
Predictions, yes. I predicted Little Shop of Horrors with Rick Moranis as a guest star. You said that I might be close. As for Pied Koopa, we predicted that it was a follow-up of the Wedding Cake Facial.
It was a nice day to start again.
Yeah. Oh.
But no. Well, let's see.
This is going to be a mixed bag. With some unfortunate word usage.
Yeah, well, that's been cropping up more and more lately.
And over again.
Yeah, repeatedly and at length. I don't even remember where I got that from. Where did I get that from?
I don't know.
Does that ring a bell?
It does.
Oh. Not just for me using it.
It might be just from you using it,
Repeatedly and at length.
but at least at length and repeatedly.
So the Mario Brothers are fretting because their mama's little basil plant is not doing well.
It's dying.
Yeah.
It's soon to be a parted of this world.
Yep.
And they're praying for a miracle. They're holding out for a hero. They're just hoping that this plant can live so they don't have to die.
Yeah, because we don't want to incur the wrath of Mama Mario.
Yeah.
Especially because it means that regular Mario's going to have to step off screen repeatedly and at length.
Oh. Is this one we just say repeatedly and at length for the next 45 minutes and call it good?
We'll see.
Because I think I can save us some time. We'll just say it a few times and cut it all together.
Pardon me.
Not a problem.
Sounds good.
But as they're praying, this Edwin character, dressed as a crazy, mad, sociopathic scientist, comes through.
Yeah, it's some guy and he's doing the Edwin, Mad Hatter, Turbo from Wreck-It Ralph voice. I've got just the miracle you guys need kind of voice.
And he says that it's experimental, it's highly effective, and to follow the instructions exactly as written.
Now what he's referring to is a tiny packet of plant food that he's holding.
Yes.
Which looks an awful lot like actual, just branded, like a bag of seeds or something, but, you know. It's so low res that we can't actually see what it actually is.
Even on a 75-inch TV.
Humble brag again.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're back in the basement.
Welcome back to the basement, babies. But, good news. It works. Bad news. Mario immediately disregards and says, I don't need instructions, I'll do it by feel.
Yeah. And I think that's where it cuts to the cartoon as he's shaking the fudge out of that packet of seeds or whatever.
And boy, was it a cartoon. It had everything that we expect from this cartoon.
Yeah.
And we'll get to that shortly. But once it comes back from this cartoon...
After we've been hooked on the brothers, repeatedly and at length. I think maybe I get one more. Anyway, the Mario is panically dialing the pizza phone.
Yes.
As he so often does. And actually, I think that's happened more than it ringing at this point. Is somebody going to it in a panic and calling for help on it.
Yeah, so he's called Elvira.
Yeah. The Grand Poobah called the pizza place for cheesy pizzas.
They called,
Sigmund Fruitcake.
Yes. They didn't call Magic. Magic just appears when you need him least.
Yeah. To ruin a good day. To ruin our good day.
I know that they called a few others.
They didn't call the orphan.
No, but they did call their cousins, I think. At the start? No.
Yeah. Oh,
no,
they were on the phone with Marianne and Luigina, and they let slip that Lyle's going to appear.
Yeah. Oh.
So anyway, the new as it so often does is as they so often do, and that's what he's doing right now, calling the professor back.
And he starts saying that the plant food worked too well. And now this plant has grown way larger and has started kidnapping Luigi.
It's got a bad attitude.
Yeah. So, the doctor, on the phone, you hear him giving instructions on what to do.
Which I think were the Mario sound effects supposed to be the talking on the phone? Or was that every time Lou Albano was, like, shaking his head?
I think that was every time Lou Albano was shaking his head, but this is where I thought the guest star was going to put in a half-day work.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll say he put in probably a 3/4 day of work.
Yeah, but there were 2 guest stars, which we're about to get to. Because what we didn't actually say is that the giant plant is a guy covered in...
A ghillie suit.
A ghillie suit.
With little leaves and stuff sticking out, but you get to see that it is 100% undeniably a ghillie suit.
It's a guy. And he's bear-hugging Luigi from the back and trying not to make it personal.
Yeah. And it's instructed for Luigi to tickle him.
First to ask him nicely to let him go.
Yeah, ask nicely to let go. Tickle, dance.
And when none of those work, he's told to just run for it.
Yeah.
In which he's suddenly able to break the grip of the plant man, monster man. Or maybe, for a second I thought the way it was going to go is like Luigi told the plant guy to run for it and the plant guy was going to run off.
Yes.
But that isn't exactly what happened. And then they all just ran in a circle.
Yeah.
And then it cuts to... them all tuckered out, and the guy leaning on them, and they gotta watch those clips from The Legend of Zelda.
Well, they're yes.
With the missing zip wipe.
Yeah. it wasn't missing, it was just zip.
Yeah. Yeah, so... normally, during the Zelda preview clips, it plays like half the theme song, and the little patch of coloring in Zelda's hip pouch is wrong, and then... between every, few seconds snippet, there's a zip wipe, and it's just a purple background with some like movement effect. You know, it's not. Meanwhile, at the Hall of Justice, but it's like the same idea. But like the second or third one, it was just a still image with the word zip written on it.
So, obviously that was an instruction and not...
Yeah, someone was supposed to plant the zip wipe in there and just didn't.
Unless it gets revealed what zip is next time on The Legend of Zelda.
Yeah, that's in 2 weeks, folks.
Yeah. We've made it through the worst Mario episode.
Yeah. Not today, not to get too far away from it. But anyway, so after the Zelda clips, they're playing chess and being coached on their moves by the plant monster.
Yes. And this is when the Ed Wynn guy comes back in with a plant sprayer.
Did he give his name, like the professor?
No,
Is he Professor Von Plant? Guy?
Maybe.
Because I missed it if he did.
Yeah, so did I. Which is unfortunate, because I was supposed to research this guy.
Yeah, well, you researched the guy.
Yeah.
You just didn't keep your eye on the ball.
Yeah.
Well, let me see if I can...
Or the birdie.
Yeah. Keep your eye on the birdo.
Doc Freud. Inspector Clean. Wait,
You're reading characters you might be playing later.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure it's, no. Dr. Toby.
Okay, look, I'm looking at the
It's
thing.
Dr. Toby.
Dr. Toby?
Yes.
Oh, yeah. Just Dr. Toby.
Yeah.
When a plant is in distress, the great Dr. Toby knows about it. You can call it a gift, you can call it a power, and a curse. Sorry, my Ed Wynn's a little weak today.
Yeah, well.
So we can get the story started. See, I can do that one okay.
So we can get the story started.
When a plant is in distress, the great Dr. Toby knows about it. You can call it a gift, you can call it a power, and a curse. Yeah, that was a little better.
Yeah.
So it's like how you have to say, "Hey, Peter." If you're going to do a Patrick Warburton, you go, "Hey, Peter." No, hang on. "Hey, Peter." There it is.
Now I want to go on Soaring Over the World.
Oh, man. That was so good.
Hello, and welcome to Soarin' Over California. My name is Patrick, and I'll be your chief flight attendant today. We'll begin boarding in a few minutes, but first I'd like to acquaint you with some important safety information.
We're feeling some real Disneyland withdrawals.
Yeah.
Which is funny because we've had other major life events since then, but, you know, Disneyland. Anyway, that's Dr. Toby. That's an excuse for me to do another funny voice. And now we're back to what we were talking about.
So, the plant is coaching them on how to play chess and is threatening to pull Chewbacca and rip their arms off if they don't do the exact moves that he wants them to. It wants them to.
Mm-hmm.
And Dr. Toby bursts through again.
Yeah.
Without knocking, without asking for permission, just coming in, invading the privacy, and not giving 24 hours notice.
I called him for help.
Yeah, well.
That's probable cause. He's got the motive. He's got the means. He was the killer. The weed killer.
Yeah.
Which brings us to why we're here.
Yeah. He ends up figuring out how to reverse the damage to the plant.
Yeah, he's got a plant shrinking formula, which is in one of those, what's the proper word for that pump sprayer that people used to spray bug spray out of in old-timey crud?
Weed sprayers.
Really?
Yeah.
Because, I mean, like, the guy in Donkey Kong 3 is using one of those to fight bugs.
I don't know, but I've always called it a weed sprayer.
Dude. But no, okay, anyway, it's one of those. He's pumping it from the one hand, and it's got the little tank on the front. It's a prop that they just had, I'm sure.
Yeah.
And
nothing's coming out of it, but for the longest, for like the first like about 3 seconds, you couldn't see the pump part, so it just looked like he was pumping air. Once again, we are recording at 11:53 p.m.
Oh, damn, it is. I was gonna seamlessly cut out that yawn. Now maybe I won't. Thank you, Aaron. Anyway, yeah, so there's nothing coming out. They don't even have the decency to, like, fill it with flour or something, so it's going...
Yeah.
And eventually, we thought they might sub in Joseph Griffo for Mario again, but because Luigi's warning him, don't get Mario, you don't want him to shrink too. But it was, no, the plant shrinks back down to original size, but it's still healthy.
Yeah. However, it apparently is only a temporary fix, because for the Do the Mario, the plant is back up and in action.
Yeah, but I think the Do the Mario doesn't really count. It's like, Dracula left, but he still did the Mario.
Yeah, but he came back just for it. He's like, you know what, you guys...
Mario's robot space girlfriend flew away and went back home, but still did the Mario.
Yeah, but...
I think they do the Mario before the end of the episode, and they just cut it later.
Fair.
No, okay, yeah. You know what I mean? I get it, and we're not supposed to think that hard about it, but honestly, I think the Do the Mario is just a little bonus.
Yes.
Because that one didn't really have an ending, but David Horowitz and the monster that chased him both did the Mario.
I thought it was just David Horowitz.
I thought the monster was in the background.
Maybe.
Not unlike this.
I would have to look at it again. Which brings us to the stars of this episode.
Yes. Now, Aaron kept, when he was making his notes, he kept giggling to himself, so we got some good stuff, I think.
So let's start off with the doctor. The good Dr. Toby.
Mm-hmm.
Tobias the Doctor.
Yes.
Gary Schwartz.
Uh-huh.
The King of Average, as his book they released is called.
Okay.
He's a voice actor. He does a lot of video games, including Team Fortress 2, Sonic and Sega All-Star Racers.
Sonic and Sega All-Stars Racing Transformed?
Yes. Exactly that.
Who did he voice in Team Fortress 2?
Heavy Weapons guy, the demo guy, and Monunculus. He also was in Aliens vs. Predator 2, the video game, as Dr. Eisenberg. I hate to break it to you, but he also did Whiteface.
That's unfortunate.
It's a short from 2001. He's Professor Barnum and Bailey. He was in Star Trek Armada, the video game, as additional voices.
Uh-huh. I think Armada... Is that a... Sorry, I always confuse it. There was one I used to rent on the PS1 that was kind of a Star Fox, like a single fighter shooter game. That was Star Trek Invasion.
Oh.
Armada's an RTS on the PC, I think.
Maybe. I'll look into that later, but...
Yeah, that's fine, sorry.
He was in one episode of Tales from the Crypt. Teen Witch, and my second favorite... Oh, I missed this.
What'd you miss?
Zoobly Zoo.
Oh, we're back. You know, that's the weirdest thing. Zoobly Zoo came up independently for me, like a week ago. I was looking up, because at time of recording, for like the last 3 or 4 weeks, various Shout Factory-owned YouTube channels have been running 24-hour streams of their content, and one of them is Reboot. The great Canadian CGI show. And I was just looking up the voice actors from that. And the one who plays Mouse, whose name I can't remember, something Valance, Louise Valance or something, she was in Zoobly Zoo.
Really?
Like, in live action.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure this guy was in every episode.
I think they were all in every episode.
62 episodes.
Yeah. That's the first time I've ever seen a picture of what Zoobly Zoo looks like. Have you?
I just looked at one.
Isn't that awful?
It is.
It's awful.
But it has an 8.1 on IMDb, which is, I think, is the second highest rating that he has for this.
Damn.
So when he says king of average, he is meaning he is king of average. Oh, no. Planetscape Torments, the video game, has a 9.4. And Star Trek Armada has a 7.1. And Whiteface, oddly, has an 8.1.
Hmm. Alright, what was the other favorite thing before you got to Zoobly Zoo?
So he was in The Wizard of Space and Time. He played Canadian Thug. And now to my favorite. So far, he's been in the Super Mario Brothers Super Show as Dr. Freud, and he will return. Not Dr. Freud, but
Toby.
Dr. Toby.
Because I was going to say, he wasn't Sigmund Fruitcake.
No. But he will return as Dr. Freud.
I see. So these guys got visited by a Freud parody and a Freud?
Yes.
It's Poppins, our mascot cat, who manages to worm her way into almost every recording we made, except for the ones 3 hours away at my house.
And even then, she tried.
She might have got in on one of the mailbags. Because Aaron's animals only ever pay attention to us when we want to do something else.
All right, and we are back. So, do you have any more questions about Gary Schwartz?
No. I think that's everything. I think that's all the interesting trivia you have about the actors who were in this episode.
All right, do you want to know who played the plant?
Well, I would assume it's the guy who's like Edison and the puppeteer.
Are you thinking James Murray?
I'm thinking James Murray.
Yeah, you know what?
Except he looked a little tall.
You would be right. How do you feel? Do you know who the 2023 People's Sexiest Man Alive is?
Even besides me?
That was a 2021, and you know it.
Yeah, I just won't let it go. No, Aaron, I don't. Who is it?
Patrick Dempsey.
Now, that sounds like a name I actually recognize. But you've been carefully avoiding telling me why.
So, he was in the Excuse Me... Oh, he was in... No, he's not going to be in the Excuse Me Princess Super Show.
Friend of the show, Patrick Dempsey.
I will be sending him off a personal email asking him if he will show up for the Excuse Me Princess Super Show reunion in 10 years. When he'll be the People's Sexiest Man Alive in 2034.
I'm interested to see it. Now, I just saw your mic stand wiggle as the cat hit it. I'm interested to see what that'll sound like. Because this time we're on carpet. Alright, back to Patrick Dempsey.
So, he's done quite a few things. To start with, he's still alive.
Well, that's a good start.
He's been active since 1985. He was born in 1966, so he's 58 at time of recording.
Time of our recording?
Yeah, time of our recording.
When did you say he was born?
66.
Oh, 66. Okay, yeah, alright.
Yes.
Anyway, Patrick Dempsey.
And
Is that the sound of you losing your notes?
Yes, a little. He's actually done quite a lot, including he's done some auto racing, including the 24 Hours of Le Mans, Rolex 24 at Daytona sports car races, and more. So, you know, he's a man of many talents.
Yeah.
And I'm jumping around and avoiding anything. He started off in 1985 directly into film with Heaven Help Us.
Not familiar with that one.
Okay. How about In a Shallow Grave?
Nope, that's not ringing a bell.
How about Mobsters?
Maybe.
How about Scream 3?
I didn't. I only saw the first one of those.
How about Brother Bear 2?
Electric Boogaloo.
Am I getting closer?
Well, I mean, I know I've seen the first Brother Bear. It was okay.
How about Enchanted?
Okay, yeah.
He was Robert Phillip in Enchanted.
Uh-huh.
I'm pretty sure that was the guy in Enchanted.
Okay. I saw Enchanted like once.
Alright. How about Disenchanted?
You mean that? Isn't that the one from the Simpsons guy?
No, well, yes, but this is the sequel to Enchanted.
Oh, okay.
But
Can't wait for the third one, Disenfranchised.
when we go into TV, this is where he really becomes familiar.
Okay.
How familiar are you with Grey's Anatomy?
Familiar enough.
He was Dr. Derek Shepherd.
Oh, hang on. That rings a bell. McDreamy.
Yes.
Okay. That guy.
Yeah.
I knew there was a name. Patrick Dempsey. It was a name that I knew.
Yes. And not because he was on the show before, because he will only be on the show once.
Yeah.
And we don't even get to see his face.
No.
McDreamy was on the show, and no one gets to know about it unless you actually read the credits.
Or listen to this.
Yes.
And if you've managed to get this far in, you probably already know everything about the show, and you're drafting your tweets to correct us.
Yes.
I know I am.
And I think that this actually makes for the longest opening segment.
It's up there.
I'm just going through, but I only say this because my wife, I'm married now.
He is. It happened.
That's
why there's no mailbag the last couple. There might be one on this one, though.
And maybe
maybe on the last one. In fact, I think there is going to be. But still, shut up.
I will like to have the records show that we have released at least one episode after my wedding that was recorded after my wedding. I am not the cause. My wife is not the cause. John will be the cause of the end of the Excuse Me Princess Super Show.
Yes. Now, just because the cause is murder-suicide.
It's a shame that he murdered himself.
Yeah. I thought I'd check all the boxes at once. You think it's a cry for help?
A little.
So Patrick Dempsey, the guy from Grey's Anatomy,
yes,
is in a giant plant suit in the Super Mario Brothers Super Show.
Top third.
Yeah, I think that puts it up there. Actually, this was, if we're going to get into the review part, this was a good one. This was an entertaining one.
This was fun, and I enjoyed it, and it didn't drag ever.
No.
It didn't have too much going on either. No. This was set up, break, action, conclusion, do the Mario. Perfect.
Words to live by. Yeah, the closest to a lull was the phone call bit.
And it was still good.
And at this point, that's almost a running gag.
Yeah.
Is them phoning people for help. As they so often do.
On the pizza phone.
Yes.
Now, this time the pizza phone looked a little bit better than it has in the past.
Someone actually had to pick it up again.
Yeah.
They even made sure to glue some pepperoni to the receiver. Is that the first time we've seen that? Or just the first time it's been visible?
I think it's the first time that it's been at an angle where we could see it properly.
Yeah, because people always have the receiver on the other side of their head away from the camera.
Yeah.
But this time it was, framed better.
And that's the other thing, is it was shot better.
Yeah, this was a well shot for
what it was.
A given value of well. But I mean, it was dynamic.
Yeah.
There was movement. It wasn't a movement.
Yeah.
It was just a good live action. First one we've inducted into the top third in a while. Which,
means that others have been moved up into it subconsciously, without their knowledge.
It's a shifting list.
Yeah. You won't know what it is. Only we know. And we'll only know after we review all of them.
Yeah. And who knows if we'll be internally consistent. Yeah. Most podcasts aren't.
Yeah.
We've only just started to reference our own running jokes, and we're already getting sick of them.
Yeah.
As we so often do. But, no, good one. I liked this one.
Yes. And it brought in the King of Average and McDreamy. What more could we ask for?
And they referenced Mama Mario without showing her.
I guess we could ask for that.
Yeah, but we got it.
Yeah.
That was free.
Oh. I could go for another burger.
I could.
But...
No, this is post them winning Plumbers of the Year, and they're on top of their game.
Yeah. And Lou Albano and Danny Wells did good acting, and like they always seem to do.
Yeah, they're entertainers. It's like I've said before.
They have fun. However, I'm sure you're not having fun not hearing us talk about the cartoon. Is it time for them to get hooked on the brothers?
I think so.
Now, evil Koopa and his troopers are up to misbehaving. They kidnapped the Princess Mushroom Land, needs saving. Abusing and confusing, everybody discovers they can't help but be hooked on the brothers.
All right. The cartoon episode we're looking at today is the Pied Koopa.
The Cream Pied Koopa?
That's what you meant. Hey, I don't remember that episode.
It's spelled with a K.
Yeah. Oh. All right. And we'll do the writer at the end, but it's a recurring one, so we won't have to get into it much. But we don't want it to color our discussion about this. So the Pied Koopa. So the crew are in Pastaland,
where the trees are spaghetti on forks.
Yeah, like balls of spaghetti on a fork. It's actually pretty neat.
And the bushes are rigatoni.
Yeah, and Mario and Luigi are happy as hell about this.
However, it doesn't start there. It starts with someone being most displeased.
Yeah, this is another one where it's not quite a cold open, but you learn that King Koopa is kidnapping the children from the Pastaland. I said Pasta Kingdom.
Yeah.
But it's, and he's leading away, Pied Piper style, with a flute, somehow. And, most of the children seem happy enough. One, not so much. There's one recurring little mushroom kid who's got this hilarious little scowly face and the bottom lip that kind of makes him look like Homestar Runner. And he's particularly upset about everything that's going on.
This guy's particularly upset.
But everyone else...
the Elephant Man.
Yeah. What are you saying, Mike? No, this one has some shit animation. Because anyone who's not talking is not doing anything.
Other than having their mouth open, waiting to talk.
Yeah, and they're frozen in whatever their last frame was.
Except maybe a little eye movement, which is unsettling.
Yeah. It's like, they have a mouth, but they can't scream. I'm pretty sure I've seen some of these freeze frames of Luigi as memes. But as it happens, no. They haven't learned yet that the children have been gone missing. They're about to, because they roll into the town.
For their spaghetti supper that they often miss.
Yeah, this isn't the first time. But the Mayor Fettuccine, who is not wearing pants, it's only made conspicuous because he's
wearing a shirt.
Yeah, a fairly resplendent Merrill uniform. Did he have a sash?
I don't remember if he did or not.
He definitely had a vest.
Yeah.
Vest and suit jacket.
And a reverse Hitler mustache.
Yeah. Yeah, he's got the two handlebars and nothing in the middle.
Yeah.
But he explains what's going on, that the Pied Koopa has taken the kids, and Koopa's not wearing a costume this episode, and the reason I bring that up now is because neither is Mouser, who shows up
buck naked.
Yeah, he's wearing. He's doing the Sonic thing. He's got his shoes, he's got his gloves, and he's free to the wind.
Yeah,
and he is loving it. But he shows up with a Koopagram, which is the ransom note, and he's basically tells them,
all the spaghetti.
All the spaghetti.
Give me everything. If even a strand of spaghetti is missing,
yeah,
I will kill these children. I won't think twice. And I will use their blood as 1989 marinara.
Yeah, maybe you didn't hear me. I don't want half the spaghetti. I don't want some arbitrary amount. All the spaghetti. And or they'll never see the kids again, I think it was. Something like that. We were laughing at something else while Mouser was delivering the message. I think we were talking about how naked he was.
Yeah.
And how... But his body's a different color from his head.
It looks like he's wearing pajamas, but...
Yeah, little footy pajamas. But there's no butt flap. And there's no anything that makes it look like that, except for the fact that it's a different color from his head. Do you remember what his spacesuit looked like in Stars in Their Eyes? Because maybe it's that colored gray, and without the helmet, and not a spacesuit at all.
That's a good question. I do not remember.
No, all I remember is all the stuff I hated.
Yeah,
which was all of it.
What about the fact that it was based on Star Trek 2?
Yeah, when all the snorks put their beaks to the sky and did the Wrath of Khan theme. But anyway, and then they pay Mouser 4 coins for being the telegram, which is darkly hilarious. They don't just drag him into the courthouse and beat him until he tells them where the kids are, which would have been my first solution, but I'm more of a Punisher type.
Meanwhile, at the Hall of Justice. Oh, yeah.
Anyway,
they decide that the best, originally, the mayor's just like, well, we have no choice. Let's just pay the ransom. All the spaghetti. I guess we'll starve this winter, but we'll have our children while we're starving.
Mushrooms don't belong on a pizza.
They don't, but...
Yeah. So, no, but the Mario crew are going to go rescue the kids, especially if it means preserving the spaghetti.
Yes. Which they've already had some.
Yeah. Now, how do they end up in the water?
They start following Mouser, because they're like, Mouser will be the one who will...
Yeah.
And it comes to a castle with a drawbridge, and the drawbridge opens in an interesting way, which is called back to later.
Yeah, that's right.
It opens so that the part to the castle swings to the other side. The part that's on the ground away from the castle swings up to create a fence. So when they're on it, and the drawbridge gets pulled, it instead drops them in the moat.
Yeah, I think the idea is that if someone's on there you don't want in, you pull the switch one way or the other kind of thing.
Yeah.
But then, to make matters worse, they start getting dive bombed by albatrosses with bombs.
Which do nothing.
Yeah, they land in the water next to them and don't explode. But it actually is a plot point later that there's unexploded bombs in the water.
Yes.
So I guess they would only explode if they had hit them? There's little sense as that makes. But then they can't get back to shore because the shore is lined with Koopa Troopas who actually throw their spears at them.
Yes.
The bad guys are really on the offensive in this one.
And Mario ends up having an idea, because he had a sandwich or something.
No, he said, I was wishing I had a submarine sandwich and it gave me an idea.
Oh, yes.
And he dives down. They all dive down. And how does the hole get blown in the wall of the castle?
That's a good question.
The first hole.
You know...
Do they pry something open, or...
There's a power...
Right! That's right. Thank you. A POW block. From the games, there's a POW block at the bottom. Mario calls it a power block, which could be what POW stands for. I don't know. I always call it a POW block. It says POW on it. You know, they're from the Mario Brothers arcade game, and then they were in Mario 2 and 3. So it being in Mario 2 is what this would be a call to.
Personal opening weapon.
And that's what it stood for in the Mario Brothers arcade game when it flipped all the turtles in the sewer.
It opened them up so you could take them.
Tonight I dine on turtle soup. Anyhow.
And for me it was a Tuesday.
Of course.
The day bison graced your village was the most important day of your life. But for me, it was Tuesday.
Cash, my man.
Yeah. Yes, I killed your father.
I killed my father too. You don't hear me whining about it.
That's the same guy who voiced Rhinox. You can really hear it when he says that. Anyway, we're doing it again. Mario hits the POW block, and it gets him and all of them sucked in to what turns out to be the basement dungeon of the castle.
Not the basement dungeon, just a dungeon of the castle.
Yeah, but I mean, it's, you know.
Because there is another basement.
Is there?
Yes, because that's... we'll get to that.
Okay. Well, in the meantime, so they're in this dungeon, and they're creeping up the stairs.
Mario is.
Mario's going up the stairs. He figures, you know, what could be worse than...
There's nothing that could be worse than being in a wet dungeon.
Oh, yeah. And then King Koopa opens the door behind them and says, that's what you think, you...
Soggy sink slob?
Yeah, soggy sink slob.
But us being who we are,
Aaron being who he is, thought that Bowser was going to call him something slightly dirty and slightly charged.
Yeah.
A soggy sink slut.
Yeah.
There, I said it so you don't have to.
And if you're a soggy sink slut and are listening to this episode and are enjoying what you're hearing, give us 5 stars on the podcaster service of your choice. Or give me only a like on YouTube.
Yeah, just Aaron.
So that we can climb those podcast ladders and reach even more soggy sling sluts.
Comment, subscribe. Let us know in the comments if you're a soggy sink slut.
Especially you, Mike.
This is just fine. Anyway, so Bowser figures the funniest thing to do would be chuck him back down into the dungeon. And release a horde of Trouter enemies, which are like Cheep Cheeps, but these are the ones from Mario 2 that I think they go up and down in that waterfall place and you can step on them. But they come out with knives and forks, which the one does. And wasn't that recycled from the pirate one?
Yes, but Toad has a line that is so close to being good.
Oh, yeah. What was it?
What's worse than being in a dungeon? And then the fish come out. And he says, being fish bait.
And I thought for sure he was going to say, being fish food.
Which would have been better, arguably.
Yeah, they love their alliteration in this show.
Yeah.
Unless it would actually be funny. Then that's a fridge too far.
A fridge too far?
Hey, Fetty, I got a movie for you. A fridge too far. Poor Homer. He just wanted to see Honk If You're Horny in peace. We're doing a lot of references tonight. We didn't do a pre-show warm-up to get some of the silliness out, so...
Enjoy the silly.
Yeah. If you enjoy the silliness. But anyway, so they... how do they escape the Trouters? They swim... Oh, is that when Mario sees the bomb that's floating in the water?
No, they jump and grab the handcuffs.
Mm-hmm.
And this is semi-important.
Yeah, there are manacles chained to the wall and hanging pretty high up. Princess Toadstool guesses that they must have had a lot of tall prisoners. And Toad, having experienced it himself a few episodes ago, figures that they were probably just stretched. But they didn't enjoy it as much as Toad did.
No.
And then Mario sees the bomb and jumps down and uses
This is where the basement comes in. Because he speaks underwater, which is...
Yeah, they did it previously earlier in the episode too, and I don't remember what he said either time, but it's the usual, they talk and has a sort of bubble distortion over it. But basically, he blows another hole in it and drains the water out.
Into the sub-basement.
Must be, yes. I guess that's the only thing that makes sense. Otherwise, it'd just be more water rushing in. And so, then they all take turns hopping down from their chains. Although after Toad does, and then when Mario jumps down, Toad's back up there.
Mario, there's enough room on this door for 2. No, Toadstool. You die here.
And then, what was it? The princess jumps down, but of course does the old dress flutter. And she says, oh, jumping down wasn't too bad at all. And then
it was kind of fun.
Kind of fun. And then Toad lands much less softly. It says, yeah, if you're dressed for it. Which is a pretty decent line.
Yeah.
And then Mario jumps down, and he's like, hey, that was a soft landing. It turns out he landed on Toad.
No, it wasn't for that. It was Luigi who landed on Toad.
Right, I'm sorry, you're right. Yeah,
but Mario jumps down. Mario's already down because he blew the hole in the wall.
That's right.
And then Luigi's like, easy for you to say, I'm scared of heights. It's not so high up down here.
You got a point. Then he jumps down and lands on Toad. That's right. And even off screen, they make sure to play the Toad squeaky sound when he lands. So that was good. And then they once again sneak back up the stairs. And this time make it out. And they see into sort of a courtyard.
Where all the kids are just playing and having a good time, except for one.
Yeah. He was particularly upset. And yeah, that same kid has that same look on his face. But the rest are all smiling, and even the Koopa Troopas are starting to get into it. And of course, this does not please King Koopa, who tells Mouser to get them all locked up and double the guard. And then when Mouser agrees to double the guard, King Koopa says, that won't be enough, triple the guard.
So Mouser triples the guard.
Mm-hmm. And the Mushroom Kids are all trapped in...
a cage.
Yeah, but it's like a dome cage. It kind of looks like those geodesic monkey bars you used to get.
And one of them is most displeased.
Yeah, he is not happy.
No.
But I mean, now it's a little more understandable. And yeah, the Mouser is wondering if he's going to get a medal for his genius idea, but Koopa correctly points out that tripling the guard was his idea.
Let me know when you want me to start recording.
That's not funny.
It's a little funny at 49 minutes.
Yeah. So, but the Mario crew decide they're going to lure the Koopa Troopas away the same way Koopa lured the kids away. And they go back
with candy.
Yeah.
And a white van.
A white van. They go back down into the basement and grab some pipes and turn them into kind of
trumpet
trumpets.
and trombone.
Yeah, and Toad is, skeptical, but they say they actually played in the Brooklyn Plumbing School band 3 years in a row before they got kicked out for eating. And
turns out it was just Mario eating, and Luigi was holding the sandwich.
Yeah. Which I thought it was going to accidentally be an innuendo there, where I thought Luigi was just going to say, "And I was holding your salami," but he said your salami sandwich. Oh, there was a bleepable part earlier in the episode that I don't remember what it is now.
Well, there was the soggy sink slut.
Maybe that was it. I feel like there was another one.
But there was a lot of...
Something the princess said.
There was that was a fun when she would jump down. Oh, yeah. We just have to go down.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. When they were hanging by the manacles.
Yeah, going down was fun.
Yeah.
That was it. I don't know. If it sounds funny enough, I'll put a little snippet of it in here. Just for giggles. But as it happens...
and tiggles. Don't ask me what a tiggle is, but I enjoy it.
So they go back up the stairs and they're playing their trumpets. And it either, depending on the version you're watching, plays some music that just doesn't sound anything like it's coming out of their trumpets at all. Or... well, other music that doesn't really sound like it's coming out of their trumpets, but at least has trumpet-like sounds in it, which is this episode's cover song, Hit the Road Jack by Ray Charles. Which, thanks especially to the Super Mario Bros. Super HQ channel on YouTube, link in the description below, we're going to put in right around here.
Hit the road, Jack, and don't you come back no more, no more, no more, no more. Hit the road, Jack, and don't you come back no more. What you say? Hit the road, Jack, and don't you come back no more, no more, no more, no more. Hit the road, Jack, and don't you come back no more.
It was a pretty okay cover. Not the greatest, not the worst.
Yeah, middle of the road. From what I've been able to find out, these aren't recorded for the show, but they went out and bought and sourced these cheap covers. And actually the Mario Wiki does list some of the, quote, bands that performed these, which actually makes the copyright problems a bit more understandable. But as it happens, it's an okay cover. I don't think the animation fits it all that much better. But the cover, the replacement music is just kind of... it's not like the barking dog thing from Hercules. But it honestly doesn't... it literally doesn't fit. Not in the, I don't think this is good. It just doesn't work with the idea that they're at least playing some of this music on their trumpets.
Yeah. And...
but,
also, where does the words come from?
Yeah, who's singing that? It's not the princess.
No.
Oh, excuse me. It's not the princess. So, but the plan works. A whole lot of Koopa Troopas march their way out and across the moat on the drawbridge and then across around the other side, which is the same animation flipped the other way, but you know what, fair enough.
At least they animated their mouths closed.
Yeah, jeez Louise. And that's when Koopa decides he's gonna run after them, and he's upset that they're using his dirty trick against him.
And tells Mouser that he's gonna put him personally in charge of looking after those brats. And this is where the drawbridge thing comes back.
Yeah, and... I'm sorry. And this is where, in a rare move, Mouser... do you think he intentionally betrayed King Koopa?
I think he did. I think
he pulled the lever on the drawbridge and dunked Koopa into the moat.
To kill him.
Well, maybe. But at the very least, just so that he wouldn't have to do that.
Yeah.
And as far as we know, he doesn't get any comeuppance. I mean, maybe having to wear clothes is his punishment. They finally earned enough gold stars to go around naked. Like King Koopa does.
Oh.
It's a ranking system, King
Diaper
Koopa
is highest.
Yeah. King Koopa, is always naked. Except when he chooses not to be. Koopa Troopas are always, and then Mouser, even though he's a lieutenant, I think Mouser just likes to dress up. I think they both just like to dress up, and you gotta get your kicks where you can. So I'm kind of changing the whole thing with this, but anyway. They they march the kids back to town, and everyone's getting their spaghetti dinners, and they get medals.
Yeah.
Like, this is a rare 100% win for the Mario crew. There's not even Mario waterboarding himself with pasta sauce from the back of a tanker truck.
No, he just wins.
Yeah. They're told to rise, and Luigi makes the joke, "Oh, if we can," because they're so full of spaghetti. And Mario jokes that he regrets that he has but one stomach to give to the city.
Yes.
Which is Hale, who said, "I regret I have but one life to give to my country." Or for my country, whatever it was. It's American, who cares? And
probably the Americans.
Psh! And the episode just kind of ends. That's the joke, and that's it.
And then we return to the live action where we get to see McDreamy.
Yeah. So, I liked this episode.
So did I. I did not like the animation.
No.
I did not like the lack of animation.
Also no.
And I did not like the fact that Moser is evolving from a French accent to a German accent.
Yeah, it's whatever he's settling on these days is a little more
Nazi-esque.
Eastern European, I was going to say. But yeah, a little. And no mustache, so that definitively is part of costumes when Mouser has a mustache.
Which, why would you put on a French pencil mustache for a Wild West costume? Because only the French have facial hair.
Yes, of course. I was going to say something completely different, then I forgot. Oh, right, no. That's a setup. You were teeing me up. Because I think it's supposed to look like a mouse's whiskers. I don't remember if the Mouser sprite in Mario 2 has whiskers or a mustache, and I'm going to check right now.
While you're checking, the writer of this episode was Phil Harnage. What else has he written?
Well, I'd love to tell you, but I'm currently not on that page because I'm checking to see what Mouser looks like.
Well, he also wrote for the Excuse Me Princess Super show. No, he didn't.
Oh,
no one's written for this show ever. We don't even write for this show. We just improv it as we go.
Okay, so actually, except for his head and body being different colors, this is the closest Mouser has ever looked to his official art.
Okay.
Which is, yeah, little pink gloves and little pink boots and his communist shades.
Did you say communist shades?
No, is it Kamina? I didn't watch that show that's from. But, with the pointy sunglasses.
Oh.
It's from an anime. It's like a...
The communist shades, gotcha.
It's two things I have to look up now. And remember the one Squirtle from the Squirtle Squad had him?
Yes.
But of course it's a reference to the anime.
So the Squirtle shades.
Yeah, they must be. That's what this is a reference to, the Squirtle shades.
It comes out so much later.
Yeah. It's Kamina from Tengen Toppa Gurren Lagann.
Oh!
Yeah, Pierce the Heavens, all that stuff.
Yeah.
Anyway, he had the triangle shades, and everyone
Believe
else
in the me that believes in you.
That's the one.
Yeah.
And
well,
anyway,
John, do you believe in the me that believes in you?
I believe in the me that's finally going to tell you about Phil Harnage. So anyway, returning writer, good old Phil Harnage. We're about halfway through his list, I want to say. Previously wrote Butch Mario and the Luigi Kid, Cold Spells, Toad Warriors, Count Cupula, and the Zelda episode Kiss and Tell. So,
he's doing pretty good for himself.
Yeah. Butch Mario I liked. Cold Spells, nah. Cold Spells is weak. Toad Warriors, of course, is the best episode of the whole show so far.
Yeah.
Count Cupula was
was
okay.
Yeah.
It was one of those inexplicable...
It's like this one.
Yeah, it's a little worse. Koopa just has a magic flute in this one. He doesn't have some sort of unexplained new power that's never gonna... He's not a vampire. He's not a giant. So...
But he ate the bean.
Yeah. And look what happened.
Blah.
Blah. And Kiss and Tell, which was a good Zelda episode.
Mm-hmm.
Probably the best one so far.
If not of all time. And they will never make a Zelda cartoon, TV series, movie, or video game that will be better than it.
What about the Link's Awakening remake?
Okay, the Link's Awakening remake.
That's it, though. It's Breath of the Wild still pales in comparison to Kiss and Tell.
Yeah.
Anyway.
There's no Witch of the Wall.
Yeah. I said the cure was simple. I didn't say it was easy. Alright. Cast, real quick. Everybody that we already know. Lou Albano as Mario.
Danny Wells as Luigi.
Uh-huh. Jeannie Elias as Princess Toadstool.
John Stalker as Toad.
And?
Mouser?
Yeah, and?
David Hasselhoff?
Close. The Koopa Troopas. Those are his three main ones, and he was also the mayor. He was also the voice of Mayor Fettuccine.
Oh.
And then Harvey Atkin as King Koopa.
And?
That's it.
Oh.
In this one. Yeah, there was no Triclyde for him to voice.
That you saw.
And Mushroom number 5.
Yeah.
A little bit of... Alright. So...
Lore or filler?
Lore or filler. I mean, it's filler.
But with sprinkles of lore.
Yeah, it's, the Koopa Troopas weren't like Roman legionaries in it. King Koopa had a stupid name, but no stupid costume. Mouser didn't have a stupid costume or any costume.
Power block.
Pow block, yeah. I'm not going to call it a power block.
That's okay, I will.
Very good. The enemies, again, the knife and fork, that's just a funny piranha gag. You see that in a lot of cartoons. And it's Koopa consolidating his rule by blackmailing local residents into basically paying tribute to him. This is not the first time we've seen this.
No. I like it a little more.
Yeah. Yeah, so it's filler, but it's not like outrageously misplaced filler like we've had.
Yeah.
So, yeah, in terms of the episode, I did enjoy it. In terms of Phil Harnage, it's middle for him, probably.
Yeah. Like, complete middle.
Yeah. And I guess before we break away for the mailbag, we'll quickly do our ratings.
Yeah. I will give it 6.25. It's just barely above the 6 for me. I really enjoyed it. But there were so many things that were off about it that it brings it down by like...
Each of those is a minus 0.5.
0.25.
Ooh, that's a lot of them.
Yeah.
Let's bring it down to 6. 16. List all 16 dings, Aaron.
I didn't say 16.
Each of them is 0.25, and you're down 6 from 10, so that's 16.
I said 6.25. So that I'm down 15.
Oh, okay.
Luigi's mouth. The most upset Toad.
Yeah.
Mushroom Orphan.
Yeah.
Who apparently has a family on this, because they just...
Yeah, there's an adult Toad who looks exactly like him. He was particularly upset.
Yeah. That guy.
Yeah.
I'm
gonna have to put that clip in here once, somewhere.
The fact that, I must be at 15 by now.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
I stopped paying attention, and I'm sure they did too. Okay, so 6.25. We haven't been writing him down lately, and I think that's for the best.
So it's 6.25. Power blocks.
Oh, you're just gonna kick me while I'm down.
Right in the balls.
Oof.
Or as I call it, the power balls.
Sigh. Alright, and I'm gonna give it... I liked it a bit more. I'm gonna give it a solid 7 particularly upset mushroom children. Yeah, I think this one, it hit me just the right way. In the power balls. I guess. Okay. Now we're going to leave a little space here.
For the mailbag. Zip.
Zip. All right, if you want to reach out to the show, leave comments on the YouTube version.
Email us at excusemesupershow@gmail.com.
You can hit us up on Twitter X at excusemesupshow.
You can reach out to the Facebook page, Instagram page, and TikTok at Excuse Me Super Show.
That's right. Aaron has gone through the laborious process of putting all of our best of clips and song comparisons from the TikTok and YouTube shorts onto Instagram, so follow us there. So, predictions for the next episode, Aaron?
I predict that's a Zelda episode.
Yes, he caught me. He stopped me from writing the wrong ones in the sheet this time. So, he's only gently raking me over the coals for it, which I appreciate. Especially if Cole is listening. So, the live action segment is Fred Van Winkle.
Well, this is easy.
Mm-hmm.
Fred Flintstone is coming in to sleep on their bunk bed.
Wilma kicked him out.
But no, in seriousness, this is just a bit of a parody of the Rip Van Winkle
Saga.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
the
think
epic
that's...
saga of Rip Van Winkle.
Yeah. 2 pages. Yeah, I can't even think of a funnier counter argument to that. There's going to be a guy there and he's going to be asleep. Maybe they'll try funny things to wake him up. I don't know. Now,
I once tried funny things to wake someone up.
And
now I'm married.
And the Zelda episode. Now, this is really hard to cipher out from the title, so I've been keeping this one vague. It's called Sing for the Unicorn. Which was not hinted. There was no sign of a unicorn in any of the preview clips, which is unusually good for them.
Yeah.
So, Sing for the Unicorn.
This is a hour and a half karaoke competition where Zelda, Link, the King, that little patch of Zelda's pants that is either brown or
Not.
It's on her leg. Don't go there.
Don't breathe this. And they're singing karaoke?
They're singing karaoke. It's just, it's the beach episode. It's the karaoke episode. You have to have a little bit of relaxing episode, and it has to be like 4 times the length as what a regular episode would be.
Yeah, it's a filler arc.
Yeah.
Because they're in danger of overtaking the manga.
Yes.
I thought you were going to say it's karaoke and they're just singing songs from The Last Unicorn.
Oh.
King Arcadian. Oh, when the last moon is cast over the last star of morning. Or however that goes. When the future is past without even a last desperate warning. That's it. Anyway, I do relatively remember the episode, so I'm not going to say anything. Hi, Poppins. Yeah. What do you think Sing for the Unicorn's going to be about? Oh, now you got nothing to say. Oh, God, that was a lot of hair. Jesus Christ, Poppins. I won't be drinking that. All right. So those are the predictions. And we'll see how it shakes out. I can't think of a funnier bridge, so I'm John.
That's Poppins, and I'm Aaron.
And until next time, everybody,
Do the Mario!